spent the best part of this morning consulting Sanj, the editor of the networking magazine, as well as researching, listening to a few podcasts, reading the odd article here and there, and trying to establish the best way to go about doing one, as this is the first one that I've ever done, and just realised that I've actually broken all of the golden rules, which just about sums me up. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm not really one to be a follower and tend to go against the grain. So I have done exactly that. I probably should have started off by introducing myself, telling you what I do for a living, how I came to be the contributing editor for the networking magazine, and kind of where we're going, where we are with the magazine, and what we're aiming to do going forward. So I probably should revert back to that and do that now. For anyone that doesn't know me, I'm Shabnam. Like I said, I'm currently the contributing editor for the networking magazine, which is the greatest of pleasures, I must say. I virtually met with Sanj a few months ago, and we had the pleasure of actually working at the same place, but had a bit of a crossover, so we didn't actually get to meet each other in person when we were working there. And we struck up a conversation, and Sanj had told me how he was quite grateful because I'd reposted something that he'd put on LinkedIn, and it allowed him to network with someone in my network. So it was a bit of a conversation starter, and I'll never forget where Sanj offered to do a feature on me in the magazine, and I was a bit baffled, thinking, oh my god, what am I going to write about myself? Why would anyone want to read about me? We got to talking, and somehow, and I actually genuinely can't remember how, I ended up writing an article for Sanj, because I obviously have a lot of fashion industry contacts because I work in the fashion industry. So this was a great avenue for me to kind of share these connections with him and with the magazine. So I ended up writing my first article in a long time. I used to love writing back when I was younger, so this was just a great opportunity for me to, talk about something that I was really passionate about, interview someone who worked in an industry where I kind of understand everything they're doing, all the challenges they face, and just get to creative writing again. So, I really enjoyed it. Sanj obviously liked my article, as after that he asked me to do a couple more, which was great. And we went from there. Now we're at a position where our third edition of the magazine is in work, and in a nutshell, it is basically just a platform which is virtual, which is fantastic, because we know how the internet has kind of taken over everything these days. A magazine which has editorial space, where you have the pleasure of, speaking to either Sanj or myself, and we really get to know you as a person, your business, and just understand kind of what your goals are at present and long term, and do our best to do a very personal approach in advertising your business through the form of an editorial. When Sanj initially spoke to me about this, I thought it was an absolutely fantastic concept, because a lot of people, during this past year with COVID and the pandemic, and kind of being in restrictive situations, have had to rethink their career paths, or it's either pushed them to, start that little business that they always kind of dreamt of doing or had this little plan to do. So you've seen a lot of emerging brands in terms of fashion, a lot of emerging businesses across all sectors, and just, a lot of people like myself, who have careers, who have decided to do something freelance, or, take that little bit of risk and kind of venture out and do something new. And the fantastic thing about the networking magazine is it gives an opportunity to these people who maybe don't have marketing or PR expertise, quite probably don't have the funds to invest in bigger publications or advertising space, and really do want to tell their story. A lot of people may have not thought about it, and we've either approached them, or they've seen us advertising and have kind of timidly approached us. But we're really friendly, we're open, we're easy to speak to. We really want to get to know, like I said, each individual, and get to know them as people, because for us, being passionate about what you're doing just allows us to kind of write about it much better, and sell sell your service or your business or your brand. And the fantastic thing is this is cross-sector, so it doesn't have to be just related to the fashion industry. It could be across all industries. I mean, my second or third article was with a property company, and for me, I've never written about that before, but it's something that I'm very interested in and something that I did a lot of research on and know a lot about. So that just shows the scope of what we do. I would say that check out the magazine, check out the 2 issues that we've already done so far, have a look at our website, and don't be afraid to reach out and contact us, because we're at a position where we're growing at the moment. So we're really open to hearing your ideas and tailoring packages to suit you, because maybe a lot of you are not in a position where you want to do an editorial. You're not quite ready to have a 2-page spread about your business, and you're just looking to feature a little advert in a section in the magazine just to kind of promote your social media or your website for your service or your brand. And that's something we can look at doing too. I think that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed my first ever podcast, and I promise they will get better.